Hi, in this video we're going to look at an example of a control structure problem. So what are control structures? Well, we've introduced a few so far. There are two that let us ask questions about the world, the if statement and the if-else statement. And there are two that let us repeat code, the for loop, which lets us repeat code a fixed number of times, or the while loop, which lets us repeat code as long as some condition is true. These are known as control structures because they direct the control flow of the program. Let's look at an example of how we can use these. We have Karel in the world on the left, in the bottom left corner facing east in front of a row of tennis balls. We don't know where the tennis balls are exactly, so what we want to do is have Karel go across the row and clean up all the tennis balls ending up on the other side. Let's go write this program in our editor. Okay, so let's look at how we solve this problem in the editor. So we can see Karel's world, and we have different worlds that may have different sizes and different places where we have balls down. And so what we need to do is we need to use a control structure that is going to allow us to move all the way across the screen. And while we do that, we're going to look to see if there's a ball there, and if there is, we're going to clean it up. So what control structure can we use? Well, since we don't know how big Karel's world is going to be, we're going to use a while loop. And so we're going to say while front is clear, we then essentially want to move. But before we move, we want to check to see if Karel is standing on a ball. If there is a ball, then we're going to actually pick it up. So we're going to say if ball's present, then we're going to take a ball. Okay, we got to go back, and these are functions as well, so make sure we put our open and close parentheses there. Okay, so essentially we're going to say if the ball is present, take a ball, and then after we do that, we are going to move. Okay, so if we run this, we'll see Karel checks each time, looks for a ball. If nothing there, just moves. If there is a ball, Karel takes the ball. Okay, so this works for most of what we're going to see, but we're going to get to the end of our loop and we're going to find a problem here. So you notice that we have a mistake because Karel still has one ball left. The front wasn't clear, and because the front wasn't clear, we didn't get a chance to execute this if ball present here. And so what we need to do is we need to come outside of our loop now. Because we've executed all of our move statements, we don't want to take another ball and move again. And so we're going to actually go and take this one last time after our loop is done. So we're going to say once we've finished moving all the way across the screen, then we're going to take and check one last time to see if a ball is present. So let's go back, reset, and run that. So again, we're executing our loop for most of this. We get to the end of our loop and we do it one more time to check for that last piece. And if we switch to a different world, we can reset our code and run again, and Karel will still function here. So a different size loop or different size world, but using the while loop, we can still use the same code to clean up this world as well. So let's hop back into the slides and take a look at what we call a Fencepost problem. What we just saw was called a Fencepost problem. We thought we solved it, but there was one extra thing that we forgot. If we look at this picture of a fence post where there are 4 feet in the fence, the posts are separated by 1 foot. We notice that it requires 5 fence posts. So the fence post error is that we forget the last case, either at the beginning of the loop or the end. So essentially, if we have a loop that is putting a post down and then moving, we can do that loop 4 times, but at the end we can't put another fence post down and move, otherwise we would go past our fence. So we have to have that one extra case that's outside of our loop. We can either put it at the beginning or at the end of our loop. So this is an example of using different control structures to solve a problem.